Welcome, everyone. Today, we are focusing on an essential skill in Microsoft 365 Copilot, managing your conversation history. Specifically, we'll take a deep dive into how, when, and why to delete a chat to keep your workspace focused and secure. Let's get started. Let's start with the big picture. Every time you ask Copilot a question or have it draft a document, you are creating a conversation thread. Copilot automatically saves these interactions, keeping a searchable history of your sessions. You can find these by opening the Conversations menu on the left-hand side of your Copilot interface. Why is this so incredibly valuable? Because it means you never lose a great idea. You can revisit past insights, follow up on earlier tasks, or pick up exactly where you left off yesterday. However, as we take a deep dive into your workflow, you'll realize that as your reliance on Copilot scales, this history menu becomes crowded. A massive, unmanaged repository can slow you down, which is why active management of these conversations is a critical skill for any AI power user. Take a look at this flowchart, which illustrates the life cycle of a Copilot interaction. At the top, you issue a user prompt, and Copilot gives you a response. That entire interaction flows down and is automatically saved to your conversation history. From there, you face a user action decision. You can either follow the left path to search and retrieve a past insight, or follow the right path to manage the repository by renaming or deleting items. Today, we are focusing heavily on that right-hand path. Before we learn the technical steps of deleting a chat, we need to understand the why. Why bother managing your digital workspace? Because not every chat you have with Copilot is a masterpiece. Often, we ask Copilot quick, ad hoc questions like summarizing a single, trivial email, or asking for a quick formatting tip. If you save every single one of these micro-interactions, your history quickly becomes overwhelmed with digital clutter. This clutter creates cognitive overload and makes it incredibly frustrating to find the truly important strategic conversations you had last month. By taking a deep dive into active management and routinely deleting these irrelevant chats, you drastically improve the quality of your workspace. A clean history menu means that when you use the search bar, Copilot only surfaces high-value, relevant historical context, making you much faster and far more efficient. This diagram contrasts a managed versus an unmanaged workspace. On the top path, combining endless ad hoc queries with your strategic chats creates a cluttered history. When you try to find something later, this clutter leads directly to poor search results. Now, look at the bottom path. By introducing the action of routine deletion, you strip away the noise, creating a focused history. This optimized repository leads directly to highly efficient search and retrieval. It's a simple habit with a massive payoff. Let's define exactly what delete a chat means in the context of Microsoft 365 Copilot. Deleting a chat is the specific, localized action of removing a single, individual conversational thread from your interface. When you execute this, it completely removes the chat's title and all of its associated prompts and responses from your Conversations menu. The primary reason we do this is to clear out those old, outdated, or completely irrelevant chats, ensuring they no longer muddy up your search results. How is it done? It's handled right there inside the Copilot chat interface, which we will walk through on the next slide. For a deep dive distinction, deleting a single chat is like using a scalpel. It is a surgical strike to organize your immediate workspace, which is very different from dropping a sledgehammer and wiping your entire account history clean. It's about curation, not total erasure. Let's visualize this surgical curation. Here is your Conversations menu, populated with 3 chats, a Q3 report, a quick email draft, and a market analysis. The quick email draft was a temporary need. By applying the delete action to Chat 2, you can see the dotted line showing it is completely removed from both the user interface and your search index. Meanwhile, the highly valuable Q3 report and market analysis drop down perfectly intact into your now clean workspace. Let's get highly practical. How do you actually delete a single chat? The technical process is incredibly straightforward and takes only a few seconds. First, you need to open Copilot Chat in your Microsoft 365 environment and look to the left-hand panel to open your Conversations menu. Second, scroll through or use the search bar to locate the exact chat you want to remove. Third, hover your mouse over that chat's title, and you will see a 3-dot menu appear. This is your More Options icon. Click those 3 dots, and a drop-down menu will appear. Select Delete. Finally, step 4, Copilot will ask you to confirm this action to ensure you aren't deleting something by mistake. Once you click Confirm, the chat vanishes. It is a quick 4-step routine that you should practice regularly at the end of your workday to ensure you log into a clean, focused environment tomorrow morning. This sequence diagram walks us through the exact clicks required. The user interacts with the Copilot interface by first opening the Conversations menu and locating the target chat. Next, the user clicks the three-dot menu. The interface responds by showing options like rename or delete. The user selects delete, which triggers the interface to display a mandatory confirmation prompt, a crucial safety mechanism. Once the user confirms, the command is sent to the system, which then permanently removes that chat from the user's view. Now we must take a deep dive into enterprise reality, organizational retention policies. When you hit delete, and that chat disappears from your screen, is it truly gone forever? Not necessarily. While deleting a chat successfully removes it from your personal Copilot user interface and your personal search results, your company's IT and compliance rules have the final say on the data. Organizations are bound by strict legal and regulatory auditing requirements. To manage this, IT administrators use tools like Microsoft Purview to set global retention policies. For instance, your company might have a policy that all communications must be kept for 90 days. This means that even if you delete a chat from your personal view today, the backend system retains a copy of that interaction for the required 90 days. During that window, a compliance officer could still retrieve that chat using e-discovery tools. You control your workspace, but your organization controls the data lifecycle. This flowchart is critical for understanding enterprise data governance. When the user clicks delete, the action immediately branches left. The chat is removed from the Copilot UI instantly. But simultaneously, it branches right to the org retention policy checkpoint. If there is no policy, the data is permanently purged. However, if there is an active policy like a 90-day hold the data routes to Microsoft Purview, there it remains accessible to IT via e-discovery until the time expires, at which point it is finally purged. It is a dual-layered reality. Deleting single chats is great for daily maintenance, but what if you need to wipe the slate completely clean? Perhaps you are changing departments, or you simply want a major privacy reset. You cannot delete your entire history in bulk from the standard Copilot chat panel. To perform a mass deletion, you must step outside the app. The how requires you to navigate to the Microsoft My Account privacy portal on the web. Once you sign in with your work account, you must locate the section specifically labeled Copilot App Activity History. Inside that menu, you will find the powerful option to delete all activity history. A deep dive warning here, this action reaches across all your devices and completely wipes every conversation you've ever had with Copilot. It is a permanent, irreversible action. Once you confirm, your Copilot memory is effectively reset to day one. Let's map out this global wipe process. When you need to clear all history, the first node explicitly states you must exit the Copilot app. You move to the web and sign in to the My Account privacy portal. From there, you navigate through the account settings to locate Copilot App Activity History. Clicking Delete All Activity triggers the final node, an irreversible global wipe across your entire profile. This diagram reinforces that bulk deletion is an intentional, out-of-app administrative action, protecting you from accidental mass deletions. Before you go on a deletion spree, you must fully understand the impact of your actions. The absolute basic rule is this: once you delete a chat, it cannot be restored to your interface. There is no recycle bin for Copilot chats to easily undelete them. Therefore, you must be absolutely certain before clicking confirm. Let's deep dive into some fascinating exceptions and side effects. First, does deleting your chat hide your activity from your boss? No. Deleting conversations does not affect your organization's anonymized Copilot usage reports. IT still knows you are utilizing the tool. Second, what happens to collaboration? If you had a brilliant Copilot session and shared a link to that chat with a colleague, and then you delete that chat from your history, your colleague's link remains active. They can still access the shared insight. Deleting is a personal workspace management tool, not an enterprise-wide recall button. This impact graph breaks down exactly what happens when a user deletes a chat. The action splinters into three distinct realities. The left path shows it is removed from personal UI and cannot be restored. The middle path addresses organization usage reports, showing that administrative metrics remain unaffected by your deletion. Finally, the right path deals with previously shared links, proving that colleagues can still access the data you already distributed. This visual perfectly encapsulates the boundary between your personal workspace and shared enterprise data. Let's tie everything together with a highly relevant, real-world use case, the project pivot. Imagine you are a project manager. For 3 weeks, you've been using Copilot to research vendor A. Your conversation history is packed with dozens of chats analyzing vendor A's pricing and contracts. Suddenly, leadership announces a massive pivot. You are now exclusively moving forward with vendor B. The challenge, if you leave all that old data in your history, every time you search Copilot for pricing, it will retrieve mixed, conflicting information about both vendors, causing major confusion. The solution is immediate workspace management. You go into your conversations menu and systematically delete all the chats explicitly dedicated to the obsolete vendor A research. The result? You've sanitized your AI environment. Now your Copilot workspace is perfectly focused, and your future searches will only retrieve accurate, relevant context for your new direction. That is the true power of deleting a chat. Our final flowchart maps out this real-world scenario perfectly. We begin with weeks of vendor A AI research. When leadership pivots, it creates a massive search confusion risk that AI might mix up the vendors. To mitigate this, the manager deletes the vendor A chats. This deliberate action leads to a digital workspace sanitized state. The final outcome is that the manager now enjoys focused, accurate AI context moving forward. By simply deleting a few chats, the manager prevented a potentially disastrous data mix-up.
To find related ebook and other material for this training course, go to quicktechie.com. Now you will see all the video courses are available here. So let's move to the ebooks. You can go here, ebooks, all AI related ebooks like you are watching currently mythos related training. That ebook would be uploaded under this section. You can download this ebook. PDF would be available, all 300-page PDF. So you just click on the download this entire ebook. You can download from this section. So whatever training you are currently listening, corresponding ebook would be available. We have thousands of ebooks available. Now, other than that, we have on video courses which you are watching right now. This also all AI related courses are available. Similarly, for all company related trainings are available like Microsoft. You can find it here with their respective certification training modules. All exam simulators which would help you to get the certification preparation. Just refresh if you get this kind of error. Okay, so now you can see these are all certification preparation materials. Will also be click here to the NVIDIA certification preparation material. So you can see all NVIDIA certification preparation materials, and click on any of this and it would load the entire screen and you can launch the practice paper. So this is what you can see, that you can submit the answer. We have an audiobooks available. Okay, so for each section, and these are our alumni who can you can find out all alumni who are accessing our portal.